The origin of Super Little Girl. In the bustling town of Skyville, nestled between hills and rivers, lived a young girl named Lila, a bright and energetic child with a heart full of kindness. She was always ready to help anyone in need, whether it was carrying groceries for an elderly neighbor or defending her friends from bullies. But despite her courage, Lila often felt powerless in the face of the greater problems she saw in the world: injustice, greed, and danger. She dreamed of being able to do more, to be a true hero like the ones in her favorite comic books. Little did she know, that dream was about to come true in a way she never expected. The mysterious encounter. One afternoon, as Lila played by the riverside, she noticed something sparkling at the water's edge. It was a small, glowing crystal, unlike anything she had ever seen before. As she reached out to touch it, the crystal burst into light, surrounding her with a warm, golden glow. For a moment, Lila felt weightless, as though the world had stopped. Then, just as suddenly, the light faded, and Lila was left holding the now dim crystal. But something was different. She could feel it in her bones, an energy buzzing through her. She looked down and saw her reflection in the river. Her plain clothes had transformed into a bright red and blue costume, with a shimmering cape flowing behind her. Her heart raced. Had she just become a superhero, discovering her powers? Lila quickly realized that the crystal had granted her amazing powers. She could fly at incredible speeds, leap over buildings, and had strength far beyond that of a normal person. Her senses had heightened, and she could hear a cry for help from across town. Without thinking, she soared into the sky, her cape fluttering behind her, and rushed toward the source of the sound. When she arrived, she found a small group of children trapped in an old, collapsed playground structure. With her new strength, Lila lifted the heavy debris with ease and freed the children, who looked at her in awe. "Who are you?" one of them asked. Lila smiled. "I'm Super Little Girl," she said proudly, realizing that this was who she had always been meant to be. The first big battle. As days passed, Super Little Girl became a hero known throughout Skyville. She stopped robberies, helped people in distress, and even rescued pets stuck in high trees. But the real challenge came when a mysterious villain known only as the Shadow appeared in town. The Shadow was a master of dark magic, capable of controlling shadows and using them to spread fear and chaos. Skyville quickly fell under the villain's dark spell, with shadows creeping across the city, covering it in darkness even in the middle of the day. People were terrified, and no one knew how to stop the Shadow. That is, until Super Little Girl decided to take action. Facing the Shadow. Super Little Girl knew that she had to stop the Shadow, but this would be no easy task. The villain's magic was unlike anything she had ever faced. With her courage and determination, however, she flew straight into the heart of the darkness, seeking out the Shadow's lair, hidden beneath the tallest skyscraper in Skyville. As she entered the lair, the Shadow appeared before her, a tall figure cloaked in swirling darkness. "You are brave to come here, little girl," the villain hissed. "But you are no match for my powers." Super Little Girl stood tall, her cape billowing as she clenched her fists. "I may be small, but I have the strength of hope and light on my side," she declared. The battle that followed was fierce. The Shadow summoned waves of darkness, but Super Little Girl used her speed and agility to dodge the attacks. She realized that the shadows grew weaker when exposed to light, so she flew higher and higher until she reached the sunlit skies above Skyville. Gathering all her strength, she channeled the sunlight through her cape, creating a blinding burst of light that pierced the darkness below. The Shadow screeched as the light shattered his dark magic, and with one final strike, Super Little Girl sent him into retreat. The villain's hold over the town was broken, and the shadows faded, leaving Skyville bathed in light once again. A hero for Skyville. With the Shadow defeated, Super Little Girl became the town's beloved protector. Wherever there was trouble, Lila, now known only as Super Little Girl, was there to help. She used her powers not just for grand heroics, but for everyday acts of kindness, reminding everyone that even the smallest person could make a big difference. And so, the legend of Super Little Girl grew, as a symbol of hope, bravery, and the power of doing good. With every adventure, she inspired others to be their own kind of hero, proving that courage and kindness were the greatest superpowers of all.
The end.
This story captures the essence of Super Little Girl's journey from an ordinary child to a hero, and how she learns to use her powers to protect those in need.